All right, everybody. My name is Shawn Molloy. I am a network director with Trimedx, currently over the University of Chicago in Chicago, and I've got a couple other hospitals in the area that I take care of. Wanted to talk to you today a little bit about what really affects all of us, promotability, right? How do I get promoted? Now, what gives me the expertise to talk about promotability? Well, number one, I have a Google search engine, okay? Which I'm able to look up stuff and put it on slides and so on and so forth for you. However, I also have a long career in clinical engineering, which I'd like to think has been somewhat successful. All right. Starting out, I was a 20-year-old just sitting in Ohio. I was a farm boy who wanted to be an FBI agent. So I went to the Ohio State University and was after a bachelor's degree in criminal justice. The only reason I joined the United States Army was to get some federal service. Didn't care what I did. So I went to the US Army. I said, hey, just give me a job. I want to do 4 years and be done. And then I'll get out and I'll be, FBI agent. I said, well, you did well on the ASVAB. So why don't you become a biomed? Okie doke, don't care, 4 years, just want to be an FBI agent. All right. Turns out I was actually pretty good at this stuff. Went to Shepherd Air Force Base, became a biomed, actually graduated at the top of my class, didn't stop from there. All right. Spent 12 years in the United States Army. Went to Iraq, went to all kinds of wonderful places and fixed medical equipment. Got out, worked for Edward Hospital in-house. Trimedx came in. I'm afraid of third parties. I ran away. Went to the VA. Went from the VA to Copley Hospital. 2 years later, Trimedx came in. Okay, was getting ready to leave. One of my other technicians convinced me to stay. From there, I became a supervisor over Copley. Moved downtown to the big rush downtown, the education hospital, over 1,000 beds. Became the senior manager. After about 3 years there, became the network director for the University of Chicago. I never expected that I was going to move past supervisor. It was never in my cards. It's never I even thought about, right? But I got there and I learned a few things along the way. What is a promotion? So a promotion can be a lot of things to a lot of different people, and any one of them is right. It could be a stepping stone. I'm trying to get to here, so I need to get to here and here. It could be a destination. For me, right now, I'm working on being promoted to vice president. That's kind of a destination for me. All right. I don't really have admirations to become a COO or an SVP or anything like that. You know, I've got 10 years left that I'd like to retire. Then I'm going to be working at Brookfield Zoo. Okay. Within those 10 years, I'd like to close it out in VP. A new challenge and growth opportunity. That's key. How do you look at promotion? It opens up new things to you. It's not just a, hey, I'm a manager now. There's a lot of luggage that comes with that, right? New benefits and perks. Hey, why do you want to be promoted? At the end of the day, it kind of adds up to more pay, right? Anybody else here willing to get promoted with no pay? No, it's realistic, right? I do more things, I get paid more. And then new responsibility, new understandings, new work life, new you. You cannot be the person you were as a Biomed 1 when you're the director over a system. I got called something about 2 years ago that drove me crazy, because it drove me crazy as a technician. I got called a numbers guy. Man, you're a numbers guy. Shit, I am a numbers guy, right? But the truth is, the numbers were telling me a story, and it's all in how you use that information. I'm a different person now, right? Different job, different responsibility. What do we need to get promoted? Shawn's 3 easy steps. First, you come here, then you pay me a small fee, then no. How do you get promoted? Guys, this is Shawn's recommendation, okay? This is what I did to get promoted. May not work, may not, one size does not fit all, but if you get a little something out of this that gets you promoted, it'll be useful. 4 things: impact, visibility, self-development, and opportunity. Okay? You can control every single one of these. From a visual standpoint, we said this would happen. Uh-oh. There we go. From a visual standpoint, and we'll cover each of these, impact. What kind of an impact do you have doing your job? Okay? And how can I measure that? Opportunity. You can be promotable, but there cannot be an opportunity to be promoted. But if you flip that around, there can be an opportunity, but you're not prepared. That happens more as you get promoted. Okay? VP jobs are not every day. Manager jobs, director jobs. Those jobs come up sometimes when you least expect it. And if you're not prepared for that role, you could miss that opportunity. Visibility. Who do you know? How do they know you? And I don't mean how do they know me? We met at the bar last night, right? That's not what I'm talking about. How do they know you as a person? What did they think of you is important, right? I've heard people say, well, I could have got this job, but I knew this guy and him and I had a thing, and yep, I didn't get the job because him and I just didn't have a good relationship. But that's how that person knows you, right? So if you're looking for high roles, you have to be very careful about how you talk to vendors, customers, pretty much everybody, because you're writing your reputation. This was a long learn for me, because I lead with my heart. I tech with my heart, right? So if I get a vendor on the phone and I got to lay into a vendor, baby, I'm on it. It's like one of my favorite things, all right? Comes from my own military role. But I also learned that I was burning bridges along the way. And as I got to director, the system managers that I was lighting on fire, suddenly I needed favors, right? And it was easier for me to get things done if I had a good relationship with that person, invited him to the Christmas party, did the whole thing, he would help me get things done better. So visibility, and then finally yourself, okay? Education, experience, the whole thing. Self-growth is important. Take time to build yourself. It doesn't mean you have to, college courses are important, okay? I've been an all my life college student. I think I've got like 10 years college education. I should be a freaking doctor, right? But it's because I wanted to learn more. Self-improvement also comes with putting 30 minutes aside a week a day to go online and say, is there a better way to do this? To learn Excel better, to learn Outlook better, to learn a hack, to learn email managements. Learn something somebody else doesn't know and build yourself up. So impact. Measurable accomplishments. We talk about goals. We can talk about SMART all day long, right? Measurable. KPI, your key performance indicators. Your PM management, your turnaround time, your expenses, your insourcing, the whole piece. Client feedback. Oh, that's a big one. You want to get not promotable? Make a manager's job hard by getting negative feedback about you all the time. Nothing ruins a manager's day like trying to do some client retention because so-and-so didn't want to come in the call last night, right? No, you got to be careful. Clients. Annual reviews. Not just showing up. Participate in your annual review. Most people require you to give feedback on your annual review. If that's blank, you're leaving yourself at the mercy of the manager that's doing the other 40 annual reviews. This is your opportunity to put that information in writing. And then finally, communicate. Now, this is an important one for me. Don't be cocky, okay? Don't be the guy that's talking just to talk. Don't be the guy who's always, hey, kind of a big deal, No, communicate effectively, show value, say the right thing at the right time. Be the smartest guy in the room, but be the coolest guy in the room, right? So let's break it down. I'm not gonna learn. I'm gonna keep walking away. Stand over here. So take initiative and be proactive. Solve problems. That seems like it should be in Biomed, right? That's what we do, right? We solve problems, we troubleshoot, we figure it out. Offer help. Seek out opportunities, all right? If you want to be promoted, you can't wait to do the job after you're promoted. I have to see in you that you can do the job, okay? That doesn't mean that I want you to be a manager right now without the pay. It means that I want to see manager in you, right? So I have to have seen that you have the ability to manage things, that you have the ability to work with people, to work with clients, to handle big picture issues. If you're coming to me saying, hey, I got this problem, what do I do? Fix it, right? If you're a Biomed I, if you're new, I'm okay with that because I need to give you that experience. But if you're a senior biomed and you're wanting to be manager and you can't tell me what you're supposed to do, I can't make you manager because how are you going to help others, right? Listen actively. Listen actively. I know that you're listening to me because you have eye contact, because you're nodding, because you're saying, yes, I hear you. That's important, not so I know you hear me, but I know that's effective when you're talking to a client who wants to know that you hear them, right? Provide constructive feedback. Don't burn your bridges. How do you tell the client they did something wrong? How do you tell them that they didn't clean it properly? How do you tell them that, hey, it's like the third time, I can't find anything wrong with it, right? How do you tell them that this is no longer repairable and it's going to be a $100,000 variance in capital request? How do you tell them? We were having a conversation about imaging engineers have to be able to communicate differently, right? Because you're talking to imaging techs, you're talking to radiologists. You know, there's a certain level you have to talk to. I'm not saying that not all biomed doesn't have to that. There's some specialties and stealth and so on and so forth that does. But one that really stands out to me, and you want to be the hot guy in the room or girl, is cardiology. IR, cath lab. You want to walk in with a cardiologist that's got a table down and a patient on the table? That's the hot spot. Can you go toe to toe? Because manager has to, right? And when I say going toe to toe, it's not about me against him. Can I win him over? Can I win her over? How do I do that? So feedback, keep others informed. Is that like the biggest complaint that we see from Biomed all the time or from the clinical folks? I didn't know, right? Well, I told the secretary who called in the ticket, yeah, but I'm the manager, I want to know, right? Well, put in a ticket, right? That's not good enough. Do you have the ability to communicate? Are you using the tools? Are you texting? Are you group emailing? Are you finding a solution? And then keep your managers informed about your success, right? Now, again, I'm not talking about every time I talk to you, and guess what I did? Yeah, they were pretty happy with me. Yeah, okay, cool. All right. What I'm talking about is if you have a win, treat it as a win, share it. Okay. Send it as an email. Hey, I just want to let you know, had this difficult repair, saved a lot of money, heads up, right? Cool, awesome. Took me 2 seconds to read, put it in my file, and then when you're writing your annual review, you can go back and find that and be like, hey, remember that time I did this? All right, document it. Demonstrate your impact, track your progress, just like I said. No, not down to the micro level. You don't need to be, but you need to be able to prove you're doing what you're doing. Communicate your results, seek feedback. There's a thing called aligning with your company's goals. How do you know whether or not you're aligning with the manager or the director's objective? Hey, just so you know, I got all, I did all this. Well, that's good. But this month we were focused on doing all this, right? Or the bigger picture is we were trying to do this. Do you know? Are you going to let your promotion be at risk for the fact that your manager is going to tell you? Or are you going to ask? Because if you ask, you show interest. That's the visibility part. If they share and you execute, that shows functional and value to the goals. All right. Instead of just doing what you think is going to get you promoted. Understand your value at work. Connect your work to the company or to the biomed shop or to the overall goal. What is the goal? Don't fight the goal. Okay. Go for the goal. Goal meets and exceeds the goal. All right. Exceeds the goal. I mean, 70% wasn't good enough well, it was good enough in school, but you want to stand out. You're going to be up against people and you want to stand out now. You don't want to wait for the opportunity to come, because when the opportunity comes, it's too late. If somebody else has already eaten your lunch. Okay. Identify your unique contributions and then see the bigger picture. When I say unique contributions, I'm not talking about the fact that you can close PMs. I'm not talking about the fact that you can close work orders. What's special about you that provides value? Okay. Well, I'm really good at researching and it. No. When I say value, I'm talking about this. You want to get promoted? I know how to work on the stealth. I'm able to keep that sucker down. Anytime we get a call in on that, that's a guaranteed $40,000. All right. I can reduce demand spend because I work on this. And it doesn't even have to be that. I can eliminate the amount of user error by knowing how this piece of equipment used, which drives down the demand spend on things that we can't be trained on. That's value. Okay. Now, value is also the amount, the ability to do the most with the least amount of time. You being at work until 7 o'clock at night does not get you promoted. When there's somebody else who can do what you're doing until 7 and be out by 4. Okay. Part of your self-enhancement, become more productive, do it faster, get more done faster. Make sure that you're prioritizing things correctly and doing those things with the highest impact first. Prioritization. That's what gets you promoted. That's also what keeps you married. Okay. Can it be done? Absolutely, it can be done. I have 5 kids. All right. I have 5 kids and I'm able to get all this done. It's all about developing yourself, investing in yourself, and being prepared for the moment when it arrives. Goals should align with the company. Be smart. Communicate and document your goals. A lot of times, don't recreate what's already made. Your companies probably have you give them goals at the beginning of the year, then document them halfway through. Then you have your annual review. My thing is, treat it seriously. Don't let them write your goals. They'll write some, but give them more. What makes you stand out? Self-developmental goals, stuff like that. Track your goal progress. Be relevant. I'm talking about AI now, okay? Back in the day when we were putting little barcodes on equipment for our asset tags, and that was a big deal, I was putting QR tags on our equipment. One step ahead, be relevant, be cutting edge. Goal examples, reduce cost. For those of us who are third party, increase revenue. How do you increase revenue? It's contract, right? Well, by doing a good job, by providing quality, then people come to you and say, hey, can you do this? Can you also do this? Can you also do this? Right? Improve KPI, self-development, increase your networking, and then finally increase your productivity. When I talk about increasing your networking, I do not take a phone call without saving that person in my phone. Never. And then when I'm driving down the road and only Siri is going to listen to me, I can say, hey, call Steris sales rep, so and so I can get to that person. Number one, I've improved my productivity because I don't have to look it up again. Okay. Number two, I've increased my value because I know a lot of people and I can get it done. Right? These are all easy steps that build up on everything. But let's focus on productivity. One of the biggest productivity eaters is email. And I can tell you, it gets worse the more you get promoted. More people want to talk to you. All right. So I, on average, get about 500 emails a day. Okay. It's crazy. Now, I am also an empty email guy. Okay. My inbox has to be empty by the end of the day. My wife, I will get home and I will be cranky, and my wife will say, I think you need to go empty your inbox. Okay. She knows. So I don't care how you manage your email. That works for me. Okay. And I'll show you my process because it's more than just making sure my inbox is empty. But manage your emails properly. Drives productivity. Okay. If you do it right, it'll drive productivity. It'll also drive client satisfaction. You ever send an email to somebody you know isn't going to answer because they probably do like the email roulette once a day? I will answer these 10, right? It's not yours. If we don't respond, we're irrelevant. We're out of the conversation, okay? And customers don't like no communication. Set email expectations. Email is not an emergency. I answer, that's not my phone, but it's over there. I answer my cell phone for emergencies, okay? If it's an emergency, call me, okay? Then you have to answer your phone, okay? Set the expectations. Otherwise, you're gonna get emails at midnight. There was actually just, the mayor of Texas just admitted that he got the email for the flood at 1 a.m. in the morning. Don't you think that should have been a phone call? Right? But expectations weren't set. So first, set your expectations. And the number one, when you develop a management program, follow it. You're going to have to dig out 5,000 unread emails. You're going to have to dig out, okay? But once you got it dug out, follow it. So for me, I work in Outlook as a desktop application. And I'm going to go through these fast, guys. I'm not going to walk you through this, all right? But you'll be able to pull up these slides, look this up on Google. This has been one of the best. This is a modification for me. I utilize what's called quick actions, okay? It starts out by me creating 4 categories, right there, 1, 2, 3, 4. There's a reason I can't create these, because I want to create priority to the things I need to do. Do today, do next week, do this month, do this year. You do this in your calendar, and then you can head over to quick steps and set these quick steps. Now, what quick steps are is as you're going through your email, if I have an email that I can do in 5 minutes, okay, 5 minutes, I can get this email done and be done with it. I do it, okay? If it's an email that does not require an action from me, archive, and I never delete an email, archive, archive, archive. Now, if it's an email that I can't do in 5 minutes, but it has to be done today, I use my quick action, do today, and so on, this week, next month, so on and so forth. Now, quick actions, what they do is they will move that email over to my one folder, action folder. It will set it as a category, which I said earlier, do today, and it will mark it as unread. Those are my actions. I go through and I do all that, and I do it, and I broke down these for you guys, so if you need to know how to set up your quick actions. Set aside time. Setting aside time is important. Do not sit and watch your emails. If you sit and watch your emails, you are having depending on who you are, 20 to 200 interruptions a day. Because you're doing an email, an email, No. Set on your calendar, how many times a day am I going to check my email? Okay, for me, it's every hour. All right, I go in, I clean it out, and I move on. Okay, maybe it's twice a day, maybe it's 3 times a day, depends on your job. Then stay out of your email. Okay, otherwise you're interrupting and interrupting and interrupting. Now you probably look at me wondering, somebody's going to get pissed I didn't reply to an email. Set the expectations. Then they should have called you. Okay, might get once or twice mad, but do you want me doing my job or do you want me doing my emails? Goal is 0. Do now and archive. No action required. Goes to archive. Quick step, if you can't get it done, I do 2 minutes, could be 5. Unsubscribe to any email that you can unsubscribe to. All right, we get them, and we're like, archive. And if I would have unsubscribed to that thing a month ago, I wouldn't have got like 10 other emails, right? Sorry. Now, what happens as I go through and do these is everything gets moved to my action folder. Now my action folder has a number because those are being marked as unread. So now I know how many items are in my action folder, right? So I have a limit. If I get up to like 20, I need to go take care of my action folder. Because of the categories, I'm able to organize and sort by category and see what I need to do today, next week. I'm creating a priority list for myself, right? And then within those categories, I sort by the date. Okay, what was the first one in? First one in, last one out. Now, on my calendar, I also have operational time, where I go to do these things, because that's what these things are. They're operational, right? Maybe somebody asked for a service history. Well, that's when I go in and I do that, right? Maybe somebody asked for an inventory or service manual or something else. That's operational time. Don't do it during your email time. Get organized, then do your stuff during your operational times. All right, any questions about impact or how you guys can adjust your impact? Yes, sir. Yeah, they'll be, I think they can download them off of the HTM link. Yeah. And my card's over there. If you guys have questions or try to set it up and it does something goofy, you can let me know. Okay, now, why email for impact? Because you can do more. You're pushing yourself. You're becoming more and more productive. So let's talk about self. This was the hardest one for me to learn, part of it. Build and fortify yourself. Education, experience, self-growth, and the number one most neglected thing, self-care. Self-care is never a selfish act. It is only good stewardship of the only gift I have, the gift I was put on this earth to offer to others, myself. We love operations. We like clinical engineering because we're able to provide service. That service comes from us offering ourselves to clients, patients, and managers. So if you don't take care of your service, yourself, then you're affecting your brand. Invest in yourself, time, money, attention, effort, mentality, and emotions. How many of us have had a bad day and we brought it to work? Guess what? The higher up you get, the more negative impact you're going to have with that. Okay? I can have a bad discussion on the phone at work, and as soon as I put that phone down, I have to reset. Because I could have a technician come in and want to talk to me, and that technician does not deserve to have me reflect what happened on that phone. So that takes practice to let go. Okay? How can I provide more value? How can I enhance resources, enhance proficiency, enhance knowledge, enhance fortitude and tolerance? How can I enhance myself. Well, guess what? None of it happens by accident. Success never happens by accident. It takes effort. It takes action. You have to do something. Okay, if you think you're just gonna go with the flow, you're not going to enhance fast enough. All right. This is my self-care plan. Okay, it is mine. There are no others like it. Okay. But this is important. It sits on my desk. It sits on my desk because it's important. I look at it every day because it's important. And everything must start from here. I look at myself, my work, my wife, and my family. Because without work, I don't have a family. Without wife, I don't have anything. Okay? And without myself, all of these are interlaced. Okay? I can't be one without the other. So for myself, if I look at my health, my mental ability, and my development, daily, I want to walk 1 mile. I want to read 1 chapter of a book, and I want to disconnect between 5 and 6 a.m. Okay, so cool thing is I can actually do 2 of those things at once. I can walk and I can disconnect. But that's important for me. Then weekly meal prep for my health, VR meditation. I use VR and stuff like that to just get away. You'd be surprised, there's actual studies it works. 1 hour for my wife for development. Okay, to me it's important. We have a lot of kids, we got to have time together. Monthly, I take a longer walk, and then I have a self day. Once a month, I take a day for me. Okay, do whatever I want. Now, sometimes, if my goal is promotion, that day could be self-development and building myself for work, or it could be going fishing. Okay, same thing with work, same thing with wife. It's important. Your spouses are important. Okay, they are. Daily for my wife, ask her how it's as easy, ask her how her day was. Forget about that for about 10, 20 years, and it'll change your relationship. Okay? Assist with the morning task with the kids. I want to be a good partner, right? Date night. Give her her time where she doesn't have to deal with me or the kids. Guys, this isn't like, this is something that changes over time for me, but it's important, so I write it down. All right? Family, and of course, you can have events that really cover all the bases. Family vacation, I need to get away. Okay, that's important for me, for work, so I can be who I need to be for my wife and for my family. But you don't write it down, okay? Ever go 2 or 3 years without a vacation? I have. My 20-year-old hates me because we never went to Disney World, because we always pushed it off, right? So I put it on my goals and we're going, and now we have to invite her and her friend. So, all right, guys, another tip here, Excel. How many people here have ever heard of Control E? Anybody know what Control E does? Oh, Control E is a super powerful tool, okay? If I were to put in an Excel sheet, my entire family, I put the cats and dogs in here, and then I said, here's numbers. Now, if I wanted this email follows this format, I could highlight this, hit Control E, it will look at the other cells and fill that in for me. Okay? Same thing with this, maybe my capitalization, or I need to bring things together, boom, it corrects capitalization, it does the whole thing. Where this is useful, if you're doing data analysis and you ever get where it puts everything into like one line for you, like maybe, you know, I need POs, and it put the PO, the work order, and it might be, you know, in a different scheme. If I put the PO and hit Control E, it'll look and pull it out for me. So if do a search, Control E is one of the most powerful functions in Excel, and it can be utilized a lot for data analysis. The rest of these things are also very useful. One thing I'll also say, it's also useful. I know you can Google just about anything for Excel. I also have an Excel sheet that's saved. It's called Shawn's Excel Playground. Okay. If I've looked it up, it's in that playground as an example. It saves me from having to look it up again. Okay. So I know if I used this a year ago, I can go there and it's still there. I don't have to search for that Excel sheet, right? All right. Phone link. This is one I'm still trying to get used to. Phone link is actually on your PC if you have Windows. Okay, it's not something you have to download and have your company get mad at you for downloading that. This is on there and it will link to your cell phone so you can text through your PC for your cell phone. You can actually answer phone calls on your PC as well. You download the app onto your phone and then it links them. I use it quite a bit. Grab it. This one you might get in trouble from the IT department. I haven't yet, okay? We work in databases that are browsers typically, okay? They're now window browsers. They're based on clouds. You will get a list. Sometimes you work in lists where you have a list of work orders, or you have a service history list, or you have a list of asset tags, okay? Grab It is a Chrome add-on that allows you to select multiple links at one time and it will open them in individual tabs, okay? So if I have a list of 10 work orders and I wanna, I'm doing some quick work across them, I use Grab It to grab all the hyperlinks, let it go, and it opens 10 tabs, bing, 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 bing. Then I use Chrome shortcuts like Control Tab to step over a tab. Then I put my mouse where it needs to be, copy and paste, step over a tab, copy and paste, step over a tab, copy and paste, step over a tab, save, save, save. And I can get through stuff super, super quick, okay? Just another thing that can increase your productivity, get you home faster, and keep you promotable. This is my all-time favorite hack. Anybody know clipboard history? How many people know about clipboard history within your Windows? Okay. Clipboard history, you go down to your little search bar, you type clipboard, you go to clipboard settings, okay, and you turn it on. What this will do, every time you copy something, it goes to the magic clipboard, okay? That doesn't change. But instead of hitting Control V to paste, you hit Windows sign V. And what Windows sign V does is it pulls up your whole list of copied, and you can select what you want to paste. So if I'm on an equipment record and I'm like, hey, I need the asset tag, I need the manufacturer, I need the model number and the serial number, I can copy, 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 copy. Then I can go over to the email or wherever I need to go, and I hit Control Window, and I said, all right, there's the asset tag, there's the model, there's this. You don't have to go back and forth, okay? I use this a lot in contract work because I have to copy, 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 paste, paste, paste. Another cool thing about this is it's a history. So if you're like 10 minutes ago, I was looking for this asset tag, but I've done a lot of copying since then, you can pull it up and pull up that asset tag again. You don't have to go find it, okay? This one's super useful. All right, any questions about self-development? This is really key, okay? Self-development is key. What I'm showing you guys is just some hacks that I've come up with. These are Google searches. These are things where I'm like, there has to be a better way, Google, beep, 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 how to email, so and so forth. But these are investments, taking 30 minutes a day to say, how can I make myself a little bit better, right? And then after, I don't know, 25-year career, you know, I'm looking VP in the face and it's like, how did I get here? This is it. I made myself more valuable. Okay, I did it intentionally. Visibility. This is one I didn't really think about when I was developing, right? because I was a biomed, man. Like we in the basement, we just fixed stuff. The people that knew me needed to know me. That was it. But who knows you higher up? How do they know you? Does the director know you? Right? I work for Trimedx, no secret, wear it on my chest. Okay. I have a headquarters in Indiana. Does anybody there know me? I want to be a vice president. Like they're the ones who sit on the panel. How did they know me? Be involved and contribute. We're looking at AI at Trimedx. I had heard through the grapevine that the chief of AI was going to be at Rush Hospital. I don't work at Rush Hospital anymore. Okay. But you know who showed up at Rush Hospital? I did. Just happened to be at the same time that the chief of AI was there. Okay. Popped in, oh, hey, what's going on? Yeah, my name's Shawn, I'm over here. If you ever want to do a project, I'm all about AI over at U Chicago, right? If they're looking for somebody to do a project, if you're doing a construction project, if somebody just needs help, that's visibility. It doesn't have to be on the level of I'm like party crashing the AI, right? It's visibility. How are you known? How do people know you? Are you the guy that keeps to yourself and nobody knows what you do and so on and so forth? That's hard to promote. But are you the guy that when people think, hey, I can go to him, he can help, he helps a project, he's always a go-getter, that's the book you're trying to write, okay? Teach. God, teach. I love teaching, okay? Love teaching my whole life. In the military, I am actually an introvert, guys. This is excruciating, okay? I became a little more outspoken when I became an Army recruiter for about 5 years, all right? But just like that, I will leave this and I will crash because this is not my natural state, all right? But that means it can be done, okay? Teach. Teach at MD Expo. Teach at your meetings. Teach a technician. Learn it and teach it within minutes. You'll remember it. And also then you're known as a teacher. Process improvement. I learned this at Rush when I was a manager. It's on me, right? I can sink, I can swim. I was sitting at that hospital until 11 o'clock at night. I was not seeing my family. It was on me. Nobody was going to come down and save me. It was on me. So one day I stood up and I started making those improvements one at a time, one every day, and I got better. Build positive visibility. Communicate effectively and confidently, okay? Confidently is so important. You know how you get confident? You practice. Really, you practice. You know, and you fail, and you record yourself because you'll say stuff you don't, oh my God, I can't believe I said that, right? I can't believe I said so many times. I can't believe, you know, I said other trigger words. How do I look when I'm on webcam, right? Confidence. How do you build confidence? You practice. Build relationships and network. We talked about that. Demonstrate your value and expertise. We talked about that. This stuff is trying to add up. Part of investing yourself is to improve your visibility. Take initiative, be proactive, leverage digital communication. I use Grammarly, AI. Okay, you know what else I use? I use AI in Zoom. I use AI in Teams. You guys know what AI in Zoom and Teams does? It writes summaries for you. I'm not talking about dictation. That's a whole other thing, okay? It writes a beautiful summary. So you have a meeting and it says, here are the action items discussed, here's who has to do them, and here's the summary of the meeting. And it sends that to you the moment you get off of Zoom so you can review it. So it doesn't, it spells Trimedx really funny every time, so I have to fix that. But then you copy that and you put it in an email and it goes out, and guess what? Instant visibility. Holy crap. Shawn was taking notes that whole time. No, I wasn't. Right? But visibility. And the cool thing about AI, well, first of all, review it, please review it, okay? It'll say some funny stuff. But it was so good that I had a meeting with my report to, and he actually went off and was talking some pretty heavy stuff about another department, and the AI recognized that that was not a topic in the meeting, and it left it out. Okay, AI is a great tool. Grammarly is as well. It will help you write work orders. It will help you write emails. You can have it on your phone. It's a wonderful app to use. And it's a lot like spell check. It's not going to make you lazy. It's going to help you learn. Okay? Your goal is, first time I used it, like 45 recommendations. I was like, thank you, I can spell, right? It was, and then like I started recognizing, doing the corrections naturally. Now I'm down to like 4 or 5. Okay? And it'll actually tell you, hey, let's make this shorter. I'm often wordy. So it's always great. It'll be like, and it's like, I recommend this. And you're like, okay. And it goes, like, wow, I could have said that with a lot less words, right? And that's important when you're talking to higher ups. Important considerations. This is my biggest takeaway from here. Be authentic. Authentic. If you're talking about yourself, be authentic. Okay? Focus on making genuine contributions, building strong, lasting, real relationships. Real. I'm pretty good now at recognizing fake, right? Good leaders' hearts are in it, all right? And other leaders will recognize that. Because, hey, it's hard. The operations grind, that management grind, it's hard, all right? Balance visibility with quality work. Don't compromise your core responsibilities in pursuit of increased visibility. Don't dime out somebody. You'll be viewed a little bit different than what you want to be viewed as. Okay? Be patient and persistent. Build visibility. Take time. So be consistent in your efforts and celebrate small victories. Celebrate yourselves. We were talking about how technicians were like, oh, man, I wish the customer would say thank you. Sometimes they do. Some of them are nice. Okay, but the truth is, a hospital administrator or leader, equipment concerns are this big. This big. And if it's not a problem, they don't even notice it. So a lot of times not hearing anything is your thank you. Okay. Now you take that little bit and you put a thorn on it, you're going to hear about that. Okay. But it is important as leaders that we say thank you. We give our technicians and everybody who works for us the proper recognition. And hey, technicians, do the same for your leaders. It's tough, right? And we're sacrificing, we're doing our best for you. Like, you know, I hate it every time I see a post where it's like, thanks for the pizza, you know? Yeah, I get it. All right. But still, in the same turn, like it's tough up here, you know? And if you have a good leader, and you guys know who your good leaders are, they're doing it for the right reasons. So for us to get a thank you every once in a while, and I'm not, trust me, I'm not, I go home, I have 5 little thank yous running around. But it's good because that thank you also improves your visibility, that you're able to recognize people. So you're going to do that in turn when you take a management position as well. Okay. As I said, and I pretty much speed through these, AI, utilize it. It's a tool, not a shortcut. This is actually what one of those summaries, redacted, looks like. Okay. It's great because it gives a quick recap. Here's next steps, and here's a quick summary. Boom, instantaneously. Opportunity. This is where the rubber meets the road, guys. Opportunity. Have you done your work? Is your resume ready now? Okay. Not, hey, I just got this job like a year ago. I'm not looking to go anywhere. Next thing you know, opportunity. Now your resume's not together. It's not been reviewed. Like you don't have the history. You're not ready, right? And you could have missed that one opportunity because opportunities are not promised. They're not guaranteed. But I can guarantee you won't get it if you're not prepared. So let it be known what you want to do. I want to be a manager. I want to be an imaging guy. I want to be this, I want to be that. Let it be known. That'll help the manager develop your plan, develop your goals, and know that you want to do this. And he'll give you the opportunities to like do some project work, do these things. Create a succession plan. Oh, this is my favorite one. When you get to manager, when you get to director and vice president and so on, if you have made yourself so unreplaceable, you will not be replaced. End of the day. If you've made yourself so productive and so good, and there's nobody to replace you, you don't think that's in my mind? Man, I promote him, but Jesus, he's doing such a good job where he is. Okay, I'm not saying don't do a good job. I'm saying it's your responsibility to find a replacement and to train that replacement and to give them opportunities to go to meetings when you're not there, to take on more and more roles, to know that, hey, I know that I want to move up to vice president, but I also feel this manager and this manager would be a good replacement, and I've been training them, and this is why I think that. Don't let that become an obstacle. And once again, that's not something you do overnight. That's a 1 to 2 year plan, right? And don't pick just one. You got to have options. Finally, be prepared. Monitor positions is a good one. I've got alerts that send to me. I'm pretty specific. Like I can't move out of Chicago, so sorry, break any hearts out there. So I'm very specific. I'm always looking for what's in Chicago. Cultivate an observant mindset. Network strategically. These are great places to network. Okay, I'm not going to say that you can't. It's not a problem if you jump companies to get promoted. That's not a problem. If I look at a resume and somebody spent 2 months here and 2 months there, and 2 months there, and 2 months here, back in the day, that used to be a red stop sign. Stop, this person's not, okay? Today, that's more of a red caution flag because I wanna know why, right? What happened? Well, lost the contract here and over here, that was temporary for a while, and then got promoted there. There's a story behind it, right? Take initiative and seek out challenges, develop growth mindset, build a strong personal brand. Who do people know you, and what do they think when they think of you? Are you a problem solver? Are you somebody they're going to call? Can they count on you? Or is there erosion of trust? Have you done something or have you not done something that has made them not trust you? Leverage mentorship and sponsorship. I'm always willing to look at people's resumes, okay? One of the reasons, because I do my resume constantly to keep it up, but one of the mistakes that a lot of people do is they'll take the same resume that they put in for the job they have today and they'll put it in for the job that they're trying to get. That's a different resume, okay? So we do a whole class on resumes. Biggest thing is let somebody in leadership review your resume, tell you what you need to change. Embrace change and adaptability. We're in a world of change. All right, guys? Be actively seeking and creating opportunities. You can not only enhance your own career prospects, but also contribute to your organization's success. That was just like me finding out that the AI person was over there. I made that happen. I didn't wait for it to happen, okay? Or if I hear that they're doing projects, hey, I don't know if you got roles or anything, but I'd like to participate somehow with this project, okay? You're in places like this. I remember probably about 5 years ago, I was in California at one of these, and I shared a car ride with one of the sales reps from Elite Medical. And I struck up a conversation. Elite Medical is now one of the preferred vendors for Trimedx because of that moment, okay? And that gave me visibility because of that moment. And I had to think forward like that, right? So it can be as easy as who you're sharing a car ride with. Resume ready. 36, if you're going into a manager, director, VP, 30, 60, 90-day plan. What am I going to do at 30 day? What am I going to do at 60, 90? That's what got me hired at UChicago. Okay. I walked in, I had folders. I knew I was meeting with all the directors of the hospital. And I said, here's a folder. Here's what I plan to do 30, 60, 90. And this is my plan if I get hired. Okay. That's how I landed that role. Practice interviews. Practice interviews. My daughter actually works for Trimedx now. And she, you know, she did her practice interview with me. Okay. But it's not just something that you do with somebody you know. If there's a management position open and maybe you don't want it, okay, apply. Apply. Get the interview. Get practice. That way, the first time you interview, it's not the position that you want, right? Because if you're waiting for that position and you're going to make that your first manager interview, no, go in there with experience. I know what they're going to ask. I'm prepared. Be ready for it. And research. Plenty of stuff online. How'd I do? That's time. That was a lot of slides. It was a lot of slides. Am I? Damn good, damn good. All right. So guys, biggest thing here is it's not an overnight decision. Don't let it sneak up on you. Okay. I want what I've had over the past 20 some years for every technician I know because it feels good. Okay. There's a lot to it. It's made me a better person. It's made me a better husband. It's made me a better father. But it didn't happen on accident. And I want that for each one of you. Like I said, this is not a one thing fits all. If you guys get one thing out of this and it works for you, that works for me. My card's over there if you guys have any questions or if you want to connect. Any questions from the group? No? Oh, one last thing. The interview, okay? If you're doing a practice interview, there is one question to always ask at the end of a question interview. Does anybody know what that is? Okay. That is a good one. Yeah. How much? Yes. There. Perfect. Is there, is there anything right now from this interview or this resume that would keep me from getting this job or that you are unsure of? Okay, this is going to allow you two things. It's going to give you an opportunity to handle what their objection might be. It might be a simple misunderstanding. And then it's also going to allow you to make that modification moving forward and not have that mistake again, okay? Now, big thing, obviously, well, I thought you were a little bit conceited and, you felt that, da-da-da-da-da. Okay, thank you. I'll take that into consideration, okay? Not, well, I thought you were kind of a jerk. Now, so take it constructive, okay? Or if you have an opportunity to kind of handle their objection and say, well, what I meant was this, and here's an example of that situation that I've been in, right? So that, and I ask that at every single one thing that I interview for. And whenever a technician asks me that question, it's always I was like, they got it going on, right? So that's my last bit of advice, guys. Thank you for your time.